Jared Lemke, and for my lesson plan project, I'm going to be doing the boating knots. For this project, I'll be talking about the 5 basic boating knots. Then I'm going to go into detail on which is the correct ways to tie them, and then I'm going to get you guys to tie them as well. And then I'm going to get you to learn which knot does which things for you to help you on your boat. And the reason I chose this topic for this lesson plan is because, as you can see, we have a boat here and we go out basically every weekend, Friday, Saturday, with our friends, family. And then when I'm on the boat, I'm the one that has to tie the anchor down. I gotta tie us to a dock, tie our little buoys on so we don't bump into anything. So I'm the one that has to do it. So since I know the knots, I can help whoever has a boat with their family who goes out regularly like we do. And then this can hopefully help them learn how to tie those knots as well. Alright, now we're going to be talking about the importance of boating knots. First, the most important thing about tying boating knots is keeping your boat from getting damaged, and also keeping the people inside of your boat safe. Start off, we're going to be talking about tying the bumpers. That is a major key when keeping your boat from getting damaged, because you can drift and hit another boat, and that would injure the people in your boat and also the people in the other boat from getting hurt. For instance, you're anchored it up to a dock, you go in, maybe you're even leaving, you're going to grab your boat, going to grab your trailer, and you have it hitched on a cleat. That is important because if it's not tied or knotted correctly, then your boat's drifted into the water and you can't get your boat. Say you're tied off to another boat, you guys are out there swimming, you want to have a secured knot to the other boat to make sure they're staying together while everyone's out having a good time in the water. Say your motor breaks down and you got to be towed. You want to make sure you have a good knot tied to that towing boat so you don't get drifted off from that towing boat, and it helps you from getting to the land. For all your basic boat needs. For instance, a broken awning where you got to use a rope, maybe even a broken door as well. And finally, maybe a loose sail you have if you're out at sea and do deep sea sailing. You can use a good knot to help secure yourself. Why I said all those important rules for tying off boat knots is because personally I've had an experience where I've tied a bad knot and I've lost an anchor while we were out fishing. Me and my dad, we were out fishing in the water, and he told me, go grab the anchor and we're gonna anchor here and start going fishing. And I was like, all right. So I grabbed the line, I tried to do my own cleat hitch, and I forgot to wrap it around the extra time. And I thought it was secure, and then we were sitting there fishing after, I'd say, 30 minutes, and we noticed that we've been drifting. And I haven't checked on the anchor in a while because I was on the opposite side of the boat, and my dad was like, go check, see if the anchor's still secured. And I looked, and I couldn't find the anchor anywhere, and that was the last time my dad had me cleat off an anchor. We'll be talking about the 5 basic boating knots, and I'm going to talk about its importance, such as its safety to your boat. Then I'll be talking about its uses, and I'll show you which ones to use at which times. And then thirdly, I'm going to be demonstrating my technique on how to tie those knots. And then hopefully by the end of you watching how I tie it, you guys will be as good or maybe even better than I am at tying them. And first knot I'll be demonstrating today is called the bowline knot. The importance of this bowline knot is you can tie this off to a piling, or you can even use it to attach another rope to it. But I would say the biggest advantage of this knot is it's easy to unknot when it's under a lot of tension. You could be towing another boat for a mile in the water, and once you're done towing them to where they have to be, you get your rope back, you can unknot it easily. Any type of tension this knot is under, it can easily just unknot from anybody, not a super strong person, even your mom or your sister can do it. So now I'm going to be demonstrating the bowline knot. You want to get a loop right here like this. It's just where you overlap this one part of the line over itself. But then you want to get this leading line, which this is your leading line right here, and this is going to be your main line. For your leading line, you want to grab the end of it, then put it through the loop like that. And then once you got your leading line through the loop, you want to bring it down to your main line like this and go underneath it like this. Then you just want to pull it a little more so it gives you some more length for your leading line. Then grab your leading line again. There's going to be a split in this loop like that. You'll see the split like that, and you want to go through the bottom part of this split like this. So grab your leading line, put it underneath like that. Then you just want to pull this line, grab the loop, and it should tighten. Alright, so I talked about how it's an easy to pull out the knot from this bowline. So now I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to do the knot, then I'm going to show you how much tension I put on that knot, and it's still going to be an easy way to untie no matter how much tension is on it. So again, you want to pull your leading end of the rope across. You want to give it a couple feet till you do your loop again. There's your loop. Grab your leading end. You want to lift up, pull it through like that. Now you want to go through the bottom of your main rope like this. Give yourself a couple more feet to work with. Then you got your split. Grab your leading rope like this. You can go under the split, pull it so it's tight. You got a tight bowline like that. Now watch, I'm gonna put tension on this tailgate of this boat. I'm really gonna sink. I'm yanking it. And now watch how easy it is to untie this bowline knot. So there, I just proved to you guys how no matter how much tension you put on this bowline knot, anyone can just untie it real quick on the spot. So now I'm going to show you our second knot of our 5, which is our cleat hitch knot. The importance of our cleat hitch, this is where you want to use to maybe cleat off a anchor, or you're going to a dock and you're going to go inside or go into land. This is where you anchor or dock your boat onto a cleat. To start, I'm going to go into the terminology of this cleat hitch. So this is going to be our cleat. Since we are tied off to our left side of the cleat, this is going to be our close end of the cleat and our far end of the cleat. And for our terminology for a rope, this is going to be our leading end of the rope, and this is going to be our far end or away end of the rope. So to start, you grab your leading rope and wrap around the far end of the cleat like this. You take a full circle underneath the close end of the cleat and you go overlap. Now you see like this, you have your leading rope parallel with your away rope. That is what you want. Now you want to make sure you have enough in your leading end of your rope to tie off this knot, because it takes a lot from your leading end. Now that you have enough in your leading end, you want to go under the far end of your cleat. Now here's going to be the tricky part for most people. You take a loop like this. See this loop? I have the leading end under the other end, and you put that over top. Now here's where you just pull tight so you have enough leading end, and there's your cleat hitch knot. So for the end, I like to, this is personal preference of mine, I just, with the loose end that I have left of my leading rope, I just like to wrap it underneath so it's not a lot hanging off, and just pull that through. And now here is what it's going to look like when you tie it. It's going to be secure to your boat, so your boat isn't going to fly off. And that is going to be your cleat hitch knot. All right, now we're going to be moving on to our third out of our 5 of our boating knots. This one's called the clove hitch knot. And for the clove hitch knot, its use, as you can see here, is for bumpers on the edge of your boat. The bumpers, they help protect your boat from bumping on the side of a dock and maybe damaging the end of your boat. So to start, you get your leading end of your rope, and then in your left hand you got your bumper. So for start, you get your leading end, pull it as high as you want underneath the bar here, pull it. Now that you got it in your right hand, you cross over top of the bar rope. Now you see there like it's an X. You lift that part that you just wrapped, pull the leading end underneath, pull tight, and let it go. And that's your clove hitch knot. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to our 4th out of our 5 basic boating knots. This one's going to be called our half hitch. This one's going to be the most simplest one we're going to cover, and you've probably already learned how to do this knot before. This knot, it can be used for anything boat related, anything. You've even used it to tie your shoes as well. This knot, you can tie off a broken door where you can cover it with this knot, put the rope across and tie it off. You can tie off to another boat. It's just a multi-purpose knot you can use. So to start, I'm gonna use it as a bar right here. You're just gonna go over top like this. So you have your leading end like that, and you're just gonna pull it through and tie it off. This knot, see how easy it was? It can be used only like this, or you can do a double half hitch, which you do the same process. You go around, pull it through. A double half hitch can make your rope more secure, so the line won't pull on you and you'll lose your knot. So most likely people will use double half hitches to make sure their line is secured and their knot isn't going to come undone. And that's going to be your half hitch, and then I showed you the double half hitch as well. Moving on to our 5th and final knot. This one's called your square knot, and involves 2 ropes. And the importance of the square knot is you're using it for your sails. The winds are getting rough and you're scared your sails might get loosened up. This is where you're going to come in handy with the square knot. And to start, you're going to use the ends right here like this. You're going to go left over your right rope, pull it under, and pull, so you have some leeway in both ends of your rope. Now that you got that step done, since I went left over right, now I'm going to go right over left. And that's an important step, and I'll show you why. And then you're going to pull through with your 2 ends, pull it, tighten it, and see that it won't come loose, which is good. See, that's going to be your square knot. Now let me show you, if you do it the wrong way, this is going to be called a granny knot. So you see I go left over right just like this again, pull it through, give it some leeway again. But then if I go left over right again, it's going to pull like that, and it's easier for this to get loosened up, especially since the sails, you're going to be using this for your sails, and it could get rough, and this knot is just going to loosen up on you, and it's unreliable, and it's a major key that you use the left over the right, then you want to switch and go right over left, and that will secure your square knot and not let it become a granny knot.
Alright, to conclude up on my lesson plan on basic boat knots, I'm just going to recap basically everything that I went over. So to start, we talked about why I chose this topic, and I chose this topic again because I have a boat and I was the one tying these knots on the boat, usually from the anchor to the bumpers to everything in general. I was the one doing that, so that's what I wanted to do, was to just show everyone why and how to do those knots. And hopefully this video made it a little easier for the people that watched, and hopefully if they have a boat or know somebody that has a boat, that maybe they could step in and say, hey, I learned a couple ways to do those knots. And that was pretty much my main goal. So what I covered in this video was the 5 knots, and a little recap of those 5 knots were the bowline, the cleat hitch, the clove hitch, the half hitch, and the square. So just a refresher, was the bowline was the big circle one I did on the table, which really is a big important one when securing to another bowing or anything, really, just to secure your boat, and it's a strong, sturdy thing you can use. And the big advantage to that knot was the tension it's on, how much tension that knot holds. It is the easiest to unknot, so that was a major key to have with that knot. Next was the cleat hitch, which that is important when you're docking. You dock into a cleat. You remember, you wanted to make sure that you wrap it around that far end of that cleat and really secure it with the wrap around and the cross the loop and hook it on the close end of that cleat. That was the major key I wanted to touch on in the cleat hitch knot. Then the clove knot hitch, that was the bumper one, where it's really easy to do. It should take you no time, but it's really important as well because it helps secure your bumpers on the side of your boat, which those help from hitting the dock, help you from hitting another boat if you're swimming or something. So that is a crucial knot to have known for your basic prevention of hurting your boat. Then the really easy one after that was the half hitch. That one you should know in about 30 seconds. That should take you one try to watch that one and you'll learn it instantly. That one is just basically, you can tie off, if you have a broken door, you want to rope it off. If you have a little kid on the boat, you want to rope off that door. This is the easy knot to do, where it's a quick over, around, tie it through type deal. It's an easy one to learn. And then last is that square knot, which it's used to have, you usually use it to have sails on your boat. This is where you tie the other one around. Make sure you tie the left over right first, then wrap it around, do the right over the left. That's the big one in that one that you wanted to hit on. Because if you don't, then you got that granny knot, which that can loosen up on you and you might lose a sail, which is crucial to those sailors out there. And then that's pretty much the 5 knots that I wanted to cover, and hopefully by this video you really got to learn all those 5 basic boating knots that I was taught from having a boat. And if you don't have a boat, which I know most people probably won't use this if they don't have it, but that's okay. It's a basic knowledge. Maybe you'll have a boat one day and you'll remember the basic knots that I taught in this video. So hopefully that's what this video did, and this lesson plan that I have for this topic. I just hope it touched on everything and hope this video really helps you guys. So thank you.